A group of human nobles arrived at the vampire castle to pay tribute. They presented crates of silver coins as a sign of loyalty. However, Victor remained dissatisfied, pointing out that the man before him owned the largest silver mine in the country. The nobles explained that due to the influence of primal werewolves, the mine had been forced to close. Victor initially tried to calm the situation, but then ordered them to surrender half of the mine's profits to compensate for the protection they received. This statement pushed the human nobles to their breaking point. One of them boldly spoke out, mentioning that under Victor's so-called protection, the primal werewolves had spread throughout the Black Forest, even attacking the castle's doorstep. Their supposed protection had become a problem. The man continued to provoke and incite other nobles, even mocking Victor directly, claiming that the people in the castle were cursed and no longer human. Under this biting mockery, Victor's anger boiled over, and he lunged at the man, grabbing his throat and smashing him against a nearby pillar. As the man met a gruesome demise, panic spread among the assembled human nobles.
Would anyone else like to know?
Meanwhile, in the dungeons, vampire guards kept the werewolf slaves confined like dogs, even when offering the werewolves dirty food. Disputes and fights frequently erupted among them. The vampires took pleasure in observing these conflicts among the werewolves, much like watching a show. However, when Lucian witnessed his fellow werewolves fighting each other, he was overwhelmed by sorrow. When the guards changed shifts and left, he seized one of the fighting werewolves in frustration. Furious, he exclaimed, "Are you content being vampires' pets for life? Do you want to be locked up here forever?" In response to Lucian's scornful words, the prison that had held countless werewolves fell silent. Lucian continued, stating that he had followed the rules all his life to protect the vampires, yet he ended up imprisoned, treated like a beast. He asserted that there should be more choices for them. In another part of the banquet hall, an unfortunate night came to an end. Victor found Sonia and questioned his daughter, almost as if testing her loyalty. He explained that since they had lost Lucian, they needed to promote another werewolf to replace him. Confused, Sonia asked for clarification. Victor revealed that he had received a warning, suggesting that Lucian might hold resentment and could incite other werewolves to revolt. Therefore, Victor had decided to eliminate Lucian. Facing her father's test, Sonia suppressed her inner turmoil, then recommended two werewolf candidates to Victor. After listening, Victor stated that he would consider her suggestions and left the scene. To uncover the truth, Sonia sought out Tanis. In their gentle conversation, Tanis trembled slightly and admitted he hadn't told Victor anything. After a friendly exchange, Sonia realized that Tanis had his sights set on her position as a council member and had used this as leverage to strike a deal. Guided by Tanis, Sonia secretly met with Lucian. Time was tight, so they exchanged brief words. Sonia revealed that once the human nobles left the next day, Victor planned to publicly execute Lucian. They formulated an escape plan, and Sonia left, taking advantage of a distracted guard. Tanis discreetly tossed the key to Lucian's collar to him. As new human slaves were forcibly transformed and locked up with the werewolves, they were imprisoned once again when the time was right. Lucian conveyed his escape plan to the black slave. Late at night, a guard supervising the prison unexpectedly discovered Lucian was no longer in his cell. Upon entering to investigate, the guard was immediately ambushed by Lucian, who unleashed all his pent-up hatred. The guard met his end under Lucian's fierce assault. As Lucian tore into him, the guard's screams ceased. Then, Lucian began to regain his human form. Under Lucian's leadership, the cells imprisoning the werewolves were unlocked one by one. The remaining werewolf slaves were set free. Armed with the guard's equipment, they followed Lucian's lead and initiated their escape, ferociously dealing with any guards who came their way. And so, under Lucian's command, over 8,000 werewolf slaves started their desperate sprint towards the exit. However, their attempt to flee was inadvertently discovered by patrolling guards. Wave after wave of terrifying bolts rained down upon them. Countless werewolves fell on their path to escape, helplessly watching their newfound freedom slip away. Down scenes of massive bolts simultaneously shattered a window, blocking the path of most of the fleeing werewolves. Lucian promised that he would return to save them, but reluctantly left them behind. Fueled by a thirst for freedom, Lucian confronted the guards, who tried to stop him and forcefully smashed through a wooden door, plummeting over the cliff. The vampire guards were instantly consumed by the scorching sunlight. Turning to ashes, Lucian landed safely on the ground, his followers following suit. Lucian then led them towards the dark forest. Looking back, he saw Victor standing at the escape gap. Hindered by the sunlight, Victor couldn't pursue them and retreated to the shadows in frustration. Their gazes met, setting the stage for the impending battle between the two races.